There he is. I won't bother him. I'll only be a minute. I can't believe it. There's no way they could have seen stairways. Not on this route. Still, it's got to be checked. The seal's okay.
Wala si Toto, mistiso.
Why can't they hear me? Are they deaf? What a great start. My first night on a new ship. After 2 months' leave, the noise and the speed of a container terminal can really hit you. It's hard even to hear any approaching traffic. You have to keep your eyes open. Container terminals, by their very nature, are dangerous places. You have to remember that the drivers of the container transporters may have very limited vision. That's why you must always use the designated routes to the ship. Even then, it's always a relief just to get on board. Using designated access routes is always safer than walking in an undesignated area. It was a new ship to me, but the rules are always the same. Keeping clear of containers becomes a way of life. Before we sailed, the bosun asked me to check the deck again. He said the captain was very strict about removing obstructions, such as container fittings and loose lashing bars or other equipment from the walkways. Safe access on deck is most important at all times. A tidy ship is a safe ship. That's the expression he used. You know, there is always the chance that loose objects or lashings could fall or be dropped from the top of a container. Stevedores are not always careful or tidy, or the container itself could move if not lashed properly, or the fittings and the lashings used are worn or defective. These sorts of checks soon become a part of your own routine. After loading, the tops of the containers must be checked again for loose items. But follow the safety rules, like using portable ladders and someone to hold them. I should have used a portable ladder and someone to help me. Then I wouldn't be in this mess now. It's crazy not to follow safety procedures. Frank did. Why didn't I?
I've got some inflammable liquid.
He reported a leaking container just before we sailed. Hazardous cargo should always be double-checked. The manifest and the IMDG code must be consulted for recommended procedures.
05, yes. Use water spray.
On my last trip, we had a hazardous liquid spill. We followed the correct procedures according to the IMDG code to avoid contamination. They included the proper use of emergency equipment, just as we had practiced many times. I'm not perfect, but I always make sure I know where the hazardous cargo is, and I don't smoke in cargo spaces. Leakage can also occur in forms of vapors or gases. The same IMDG identification process must be followed to check its character and recommended safety procedures before countermeasures are taken. Gas leaks, even if they are just suspected, need special precautions. Just to investigate a gas leak, you need breathing apparatus and protective clothing besides the gas detection equipment. Before connecting a temperature-controlled container to power, always check the condition of power cables and fittings, and ensure that the power switch is off. Always follow the safety regulations when handling refrigerants such as CFC. Container fires are a special problem too, especially with hazardous cargo. I've only seen it happen once. The chief ordered us to clear the area because we weren't equipped to deal with it. He sent in a special firefighting team. Oh, I'm gonna freeze to death if they don't find me soon. Oh, why don't they come and look for me? What are they doing? I don't think they've even missed me yet. Does anybody know I'm missing?
Where's Pauline?
I should have told somebody where I was going, but I didn't. Like the bosun that went missing off the Bay of Biscay. He should have never been out on deck in bad weather anyway. Unless it was a matter of life or death for the ship or the crew. And then he should have been wearing a safety line. I should have never have come out on my own. It's always safer to work in pairs. Oh, am I glad to see you guys. Oh, treat me gently, won't you? Oh, mind my legs. I've just had 2 months leave. I just wish I'd thought more about what I was doing in the first place.